Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pop Cult X, your go-to for all things pop culture from our Gen X point of view. My name is Danny, and along with Gabriel, we're your hosts here at Pop Cult X. And as it's been for the past 10 episodes, I think or 9 episodes, we're the unofficial Pop Cult X Project Runway recap show. So we're here celebrating the finale of another fantastic season of Project Runway. Season 21. We had a lot of ups and downs. And before we even get started, Gabe, I just want to say this right off the top. Good night, everyone. I'm protesting the judge's decision for the finale winner, so we'll see you all next time. Just kidding. Could you imagine, though?
I was like, what am I going to talk about? I can't let it all out.
Where did he go?
Yeah.
So how are you? First of all, how was your week? How are you doing?
Doing good. I am doing well. I was really excited about the finale of Project Runway. I've been looking forward to it. Looking to see who was going to make it to the top 3, and then who was going to be the winner.
Right.
So I was, the top 3 ended up being VJ, Ethan, and Jesus.
Okay.
So those were the top 3 that were given the opportunity to create a collection of 5 looks and compete against each other to see who would be the winner of this season of Project Runway.
So let's just start there then. Do you think they made the correct top 3 decision?
No. I would have liked it to have been Ethan, Jesus, and Antonio.
I think that would have been more fun, finally getting to see the showdown of the brothers, right? Because now they can't help each other make their 5 looks because they're going head to head.
Yeah,
essentially. I think that would have been more fun. I agree with you completely.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of responses to what happened on Project Runway this season, and a lot of people aren't fans of the twins. They're not. I guess, big fans of their personalities and the way that they came across. I like them. I know that there are some things that I kind of overlook that are problematic that they do, but I do like them at the end of the day. I like their aesthetics. I like even like some of their part of their personalities, even though they can be a little bit much at times. And of course, I did like Ethan a lot. I really like his personality and his clothing and his aesthetics.
Yeah, I think the twins' personality and their looks and their style and everything grew on me over time.
Yeah.
At first, I would have been in that first camp of like, they're off-putting. I can't stand them. Get them away. But I think as the season progressed, I really started to enjoy seeing through their eyes in their world and whatnot. And I think even Antonio, who I was not a big fan of at all, I really started to like and appreciate his aesthetic and his design style.
Yeah.
Even more. So I think that would have been my top 3 as well.
Cool. And so we get the top 3. They say goodbye to Bologna and Antonio and wish them well. And we get to see the model casting was one of the big things for the show. They got to determine who they were going to be working with. And Jesus sort of starts off by saying that he has one particular woman who he'd like to work with that is his muse, who he loves. And of course, that segues into VJ wanting to pick that person. And that becomes a big ordeal because Jesus accuses him of being a bit, or her being a bitch, and doing it on purpose, knowing that that model was his muse, and eventually VJ just sort of gives up and says, you can have the model. I'm done with it. It was more, I think, more mind games that VJ was playing, knowing that it was going to get under his skin, Jesus' skin. And I'm not a big fan of playing that. I think that there could have been 1 or 2 outcomes when she did that. I think that Jesus could have chose to just ignore it and be like, okay, have her, all my designs are going to speak for themselves. and I'm going to make a kick-ass collection, and or the way that he did react. So I kind of wish that he would have just ignored it and said, you know what, good luck with that model. I'm going to pick some other models that I want to work with, and that'll be that.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's one of the rare instances I think that I agree with like VJ. If she had first pick, get whoever model you want and just deal with the consequences, right? Don't complain. Don't be a crybaby, if you will, about it all. And that was one of the rare instances where, yeah, it might have been a mind game, but hey, that's part of it. You didn't get picked first to pick your selector model first. She did. So just move forward and worry about yourself.
Yeah. So that was interesting. The other thing that happens is that they have former designers and competitors come back to assist them with
Mhm.
their looks. We had Yu Chen, Miss Joan, and Antonio
Of
come
course.
back to assist. So of course Antonio comes back to help his brother. Miss Joan is helping VJ, and Yu Chen is helping Ethan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see them come back.
It was cool. Imagine if they said, okay, you can come back and help, but you can't help your brother. You have to choose one of the other two designers.
Yeah,
How
I
do you think
think
that
there'd
would have
be
went
some
over?
sabotaging going on if that was the case.
Could you just imagine? Oops, it ripped, or
Yeah.
oops, I cut it wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
So it was cool to see that Christian comes in and starts doing his thing with the contestants, and they start going over their looks. Jesus says that he's going to do a collection that is an ode to his brother, because his brother wanted to do an all pink
Hmm.
collection. So he's going to do pink for his brother and also for his mom,
Yeah.
whose favorite color is pink, and he's inspired and influenced by his mom. VJ picks out really interesting, sort of futuristic looking metallic leather that sort of looks like the Terminator villain from Terminator 2. That,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you would call that.
T1000.
Yeah, the T1000. There you go.
Hmm.
And then Ethan starts off doing some more cows, some more like long flowing capey type things, and immediately sort of gets criticized for doing the same thing that he's done before,
Yeah.
and is told to kind of go in a different direction. So he has to kind of pivot and do something else. I liked what he was doing, but I do agree that it was sort of kind of the same thing that
It was
we had
very
seen.
similar to his avant-garde look. Yeah, with the whole
Yeah,
face coverings almost and everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And it was interesting. I think VJ's her inspiration was the Terminator movie. She said she watched that with her father, and that's
yeah.
what really inspired that collection, which I thought was kind of cool. I always like getting inspired by music and movies and other stuff, and seeing that reflect in someone's else's work is really fun and interesting.
And especially in such an unexpected influence like the Terminator
I know.
from, like, of all things, especially for a fashion design, that's
That's
what
true.
she's influenced by. So that's kind of interesting that's what she chose, or that's what was influential to her. But people are influenced and inspired by all kinds of things. So
Hmm.
yeah, and so the fabric choice that she had was kind of cool. I I was feeling it, that metallic leather. Now whether or not I like what she ended up doing with it is the only thing, but the material itself was really cool.
Yeah, I agree there. The material is cool. The outcome was in. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to the actual show, the showdown of Ethan, VJ, and Jesus, and Ethan's is sort of inspired, I think, by like vampires, like very
Yeah.
dark,
Yeah.
very vampires of the night, if you will.
Creatures of the Night, I think he called it. Yeah.
Yeah, creatures of the night. Which it was cool. It was a little on the costumey side, I think. Like not a lot of stuff that I could see people wearing out on the streets, even the most fashion forward person. So I think that it was a little bit on the costume side for my taste.
Well, yeah, I mean, I that's his where he leans towards, right? But I think I didn't picture that any of his garments being worn out in the street. I picture them as runways, as red carpet,
Yeah.
Grammys, Oscars, Academy, whatever. That's where I pictured what he was gearing his stuff more towards.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it through that eye lens, I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with it being a little more outlandish, a little, above because they, I think who said it? Heidi Klum, don't give us a boring show.
Yeah.
And he
That wasn't
definitely,
boring. It definitely wasn't boring.
definitely was not boring. So yeah, it was quite interesting. I did like the vampire aesthetic, if you will, that he
Yeah.
brought forward. I really liked that. I like the darker tones. So yeah, I really liked his collection.
Yeah. It was really cool. I liked it as well. We had VJ's collection came out next with that sort of futuristic inspired looks, very sort of avant-garde or um, very creative. The shapes, asymmetry was really kind of one of the main themes of her collection. She did a really cool uh, metallic gown for one of the models that she picked that for her finale that
Mhm.
was I think the best of the collection. It was really cool and outstanding, really long, I think it was like chainmail, is that the
Yeah,
right
like
term for it? Yeah.
bedazzled chainmail or something.
Yeah, very cool. It was that look was really was really impressive. I the rest of her collection, um, I wasn't a huge fan of, but that finale look was really cool and was did stand out.
I mean, to me, the only reason it stood out is because of the material that was used.
Yeah,
If it wasn't you, any other material would have just been meh. Okay. Um,
yeah,
but that material was really cool. I mean, I could see it like, I don't know. I was just picturing like, do you remember the end of Indiana Jones Part 3 where they meet the knight and he
yeah,
has like the chainmail on? That's what I was envisioning when I saw the chainmail.
yeah.
That's just
That's
me.
yeah, I could see it being worn on like the Grammy red carpet
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
Oscars, something like that. And then lastly, we had Jesus come out with his collection of pink garments. Um, his collection, if I'm going to be honest, was a little bit underwhelming for
Me
me.
too.
I liked his the best. I wasn't a big fan of the whole pink collection.
Hmm.
I think that if it would have been mixed up a little bit with the color, it would have been a little bit more impressive. And then there was another thing that he introduced to the garments that was sort of like a flower applique sort of print. Like it was, I don't know how you would describe it, but it was like flowers that he applied to two of the
Yeah,
outfits.
yeah.
One, it made the model look bigger than I think that they were, and
Hmm.
then it made the outfit look like it wasn't tailored very well, and then it just looked out of place and not very attractive, and it didn't really blend well with the pink, the coloring that he did. But again, his finale look, his final look of the night was really cool.
Yeah.
And he had it on the model that is his muse, and she looked amazing and looked really great for it as well.
It was a great look. It had the like the shag carpet, I guess, for I don't know. It was like, and then it had the feathers coming up. And I
Yeah,
think during the judging, they had him remove the sleeves of the garment.
yeah,
And I think he should have, maybe edited those sleeves out because it did look a lot better without the sleeves.
yeah.
And who said with the sleeves they look like a Muppet
Yeah,
without the
Paul
sleeves?
Roach, of course.
Yeah. And I thought that was a good critique because it did in a way. I could picture that.
Well, I'm a fan of the Muppets, and if she looked like a Muppet, it was a really stylish Muppet. I don't really think that she looked like a Muppet. I think that editing the sleeves out is an option. It did look good. I didn't mind the sleeves as much as La Roche did. I thought that it was as a complete look. It was a very appealing to me. So I don't. I think either way it worked well.
Yeah.
But that was definitely the best piece of his collection, I think. That and his first look was really a really tailored look that
Right.
he
Yeah.
created. It was like a top and a pant that he did that was really well tailored.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship was very apparent. His stuff looked really well made. It looked like it took longer than the amount of time that they had. And there was one thing I did want to mention is that in previous seasons, they normally send them home
Hmm.
and they get time to work on their collection, be inspired, work on it. They didn't send them home this time and they worked in the workroom, which I feel impacted it negatively.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have given them the opportunity to go home, recoup, rest a bit, come up with some inspiration, and then work on their designs.
I think if I remember correctly, Project Runway All Stars did something similar where they keep them in the workroom to
Yeah.
create their final collection as opposed to sending them home. But I agree with you. I think them getting sent home for however long it takes, I think that would have created a more um I don't know, just a better effort, if you will.
Yeah. I think all three of the designers could have elevated their looks.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, especially in Ethan's situation, he pivoted a couple times where he changed the designs that he was working on based off of Christian Siriano's critiques. So it would have been interesting if they would have had more time and been able to develop a more thorough collection.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like them bringing back Heidi Klum and them sort of reworking Project Runway with the judges and the season of waiting for the next episode to find out who gets cut. They've got some like finessing to do with the season with the show.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hopefully next season they change some things and for the better. One being have the elimination at the same episode. Um,
Are you taking notes out there, Heidi Klum? Listen up.
Yeah, and then maybe some of the childishness of uh, the comments, I think could be uh, removed. I think that they want the designers to be like taken very seriously. They want them to take the competition seriously. I think their comments should still be kind of sassy and fun, but not as disrespectful as some of the comments were. And I think that they need to trim, pull back a bit on those
Whose
comments.
comments are you speaking of? The judges?
Yeah, the judges,
Okay.
Law Roaches in particular. Nina Garcia was a little harsh too. Um, I think that there's ways that they can communicate their point of view without humiliating the contestants or humiliating the models or anyone else that may be involved. And I just feel like they like even with the little comments that they came up on screen when they would like
Hmm.
as they're being
Hmm.
interviewed, the
Hmm.
little like
Yeah. Not
things that they
amused
had,
or
like
something. Yeah.
they were trying to be really sassy and like funny with those, and it made it a little I don't know, like it just a little childish, maybe. Like I'd like to see it a little bit more elevated.
Okay. I mean, this was their first time on what, the Freeform network, I think.
Yeah,
And with so maybe yeah, like you said, they're still getting all the bugs out for so hopefully next season it will be more to our liking, to our
yeah,
demands.
yeah. But so we saw the collection, and I guess we can announce now who won as the ultimate champion of Project Runway. It was VJ. So VJ was the winner. Um, I was not happy with that decision. I thought that was like kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been going through a lot of social media posts to see what other people's thoughts are. And I'm actually kind of surprised that she's receiving a lot of support, that people do like her stuff. But I also feel that sometimes people just support who the winner is because they won.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's like, oh, I agree with the winners, like I agree with the judges. Um, but I just don't think that the collection was all that great.
I completely agree. I even just after it ended, I was thinking, oh wow, I didn't like the outcome of that. I didn't like who they chose to win or whatever. And I was like, okay, I remember Jesus's collection. I was thinking, I remember Ethan's collection. I couldn't remember one look from VJ's. And I
Yeah.
think that was pretty telling. It was like,
Yeah, there was a standout look for me, which was that like metallic gown that she did. But overall, I just didn't think that it was. I don't know. I just it didn't. And if you look at the over the whole season, I don't think that she did anything that was really remarkable.
Right.
I thought it was like middle of the road, whereas I think that Ethan and Jesus had like standout looks that
Moments,
like
yeah.
were
Hmm.
really memorable. So I would have been really happy if Ethan or Jesus would have won. A little disappointed that VJ
Yeah. I
won, and
think,
that that's sort of like the ending to this season.
yeah, I kind of left it like that's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Ethan was my pick to win.
yeah,
His collection and his body of work throughout the season, I think, was enough to take home the crown, the
yeah.
what, the winning, whatever you want to call it.
The
He should have
purse,
won. Let's
the
call it that.
purse of money. Yeah. The other thing that I kind of wanted to touch bases
Hmm.
with you on is after all the drama, it looked like they sort of made up Jesus
Yes,
and
I was
BJ.
going to bring that up. Thank you. Yeah.
They were hugging and kissing and saying that they were sisters and talking to the parents, and which I thought was interesting, which is sort of brings to the forefront of was Jesus's reaction and the twins to VJ's comments all for television? Like, were they really that upset, or was it just playing, up to the cameras and reacting for the television show? Because at the end of the day, if VJ had really insulted them, then they wouldn't have made up so quickly.
Well, I guess my thought on that is, I'm glad that they did show that resolution, if you will. So
Yeah,
I'm glad that they had that coming together, that put bygones aside and let them go away. So that's good. I'm glad for that. But I guess, is everything um daily, or is there like weeks in between? I
I
don't
don't know
know
what the
that.
time frame is. I want to say that it's weekly,
Right. So
but
they have time to sit in it for a week. So I guess
yeah,
if that's the case, we might think it's like the next day, but it's like actually a week or two later.
yeah.
So then it's okay.
Yeah, I the way that they were exhausted and tired and talking about how they didn't have any energy, I might want to say that it was daily,
Hmm.
from one day to the next, but that just seems crazy from like a
It,
production perspective. But this season does seem kind of like rushed,
yeah,
and like they were, I don't know if it's budget or what it was, but it just doesn't seem like it wasn't like a fully realized
yeah.
production
No,
as
I
other
agree.
seasons were.
Yeah, that's a lot of comments I read online about that, was that it just, everything seemed so rushed, from the editing, from the design, everything just seemed like it was just went by too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's the end of the season. It ends kind of like in an anticlimactic way for me,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
BJ being the winner. Overall, it was fun watching the season, discussing it here on Pop Cult X, and I'm glad that we watched it. But I'm hopeful for future seasons that they do some changes to make it a little bit more entertaining for
Yeah.
the audience.
Yeah. I mean, if this is like the first time for this production team to do something like this, they'll learn,
Yeah,
they'll get better. And next season, hopefully, and there will be a next season, because I did see at the end a casting call. So
yeah.
hopefully, looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool. Another thing that I watched this week was Peacemaker,
Mm.
the newest episode of Peacemaker, which was really interesting. We see his friends and compatriots kind of go into the alternate universe to try to find Peacemaker and bring him back home, with mixed results. It's kind of funny. Vigilante goes out to try to find his alter ego, and that was really hilarious. Him like coming upon himself and having a discussion with himself. And then there's sort of a twist that's kind of interesting to this universe where I did not see it coming. I was kind of shocked by it, but um, they find out that this universe is sort of like a Nazi
Hmm.
alternate reality of America, where
Hmm.
there's a swastika on the American flag. Well, I don't know if you'd call it the American flag, but there's a swastika on the flag, and uh, the people are very whitewashed. There's like no people of color, and they react to seeing a black person in a very extreme manner. So that's sort of how we're sort of left off with the cliffhanger of what did the peacemaker. The peacemaker went to this universe thinking that it's like perfect
Yeah.
and everything is just so awesome, but we sort of find out that not everything is as it seems.
And I guess I should have led off with I haven't seen that episode yet,
Oh,
but
you
it's
haven't
okay.
seen it yet.
It's okay. I've seen enough, reviews and tidbits to know, and I kind of anticipated that's what was going to happen anyways, because
Yeah,
that's
that
where it was.
something was going to
That's
happen.
what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
But I'm glad my intuition was correct, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, you definitely have to see it. I'm sorry if I ruined
No,
anything
it's
for
all
you,
good.
but it's funny because they go into the alternate universe, and um then it kind of turns into sort of like a really creepy
Yeah.
environment because Hardcore realizes like, hey, there's something different about this office setting. Like, there's no people of color, and
Hmm.
as that's happening, I forget who. What's the name of the character that is uh, in their little group? The female. Um, I forget her name, but she goes out into the neighborhood and people see that she's black and
Yeah, I know who
they
you're talking
freak out.
about. Out of
And they,
Bayou ads. He calls her ads, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so people freak out and start chasing after her. So
Waller's daughter. Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. So you definitely have to catch up and watch it, especially now since I ruined it for you. But
It's all good. It's yeah, I will watch it. I just had some issues with my HBO stream, so I'll get to it eventually.
cool. The other thing that I saw that's worth mentioning is the new Paul Thomas Anderson, I think is his name, his film,
Oh, he has a new
One
film.
Battle After
Cool.
Another. That stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana
Oh,
Taylor,
that's a PTA film. I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
It's I went in having like zero expectations of it. I kind of didn't even know what it was about, other than Leonardo DiCaprio's in it, and he has a daughter that he's like trying to protect, and
Yeah.
um, I won't ruin it for you like I did Peacemaker, but it's a really good movie. Like, I was really pleasantly surprised going in, not knowing anything about it. Sean Penn does an amazing job with his acting. Benicio del Toro is great as always,
Yeah.
and Leonardo DiCaprio does a really great job as well. It's a really interesting film. It's very of the moment. It's very much about what's going on in the world today. That's kind of all I'll say so that you can enjoy watching it. But don't I recommend not like reading articles about it, going in not knowing
Yeah.
anything about the plot, because it's worth kind of experiencing it for the first time by watching it. But it's really good. It's a really good film, and I'm a big fan of his films. Licorice Pizza, Boogie Nights, Magnolia.
Hmm.
All of those films are really great. So this
Yeah.
has added another great film to his resume.
Very cool. Yeah. I know I've seen the trailer for it, and
Yeah.
I've seen that commercial with Peyton Manning and him in it where like DiCaprio's on the phone. He's like, "What's the password?" He's like, and then Peyton Manning's like, "It's the famous phrase I always use, like Omaha." Oh, it's I don't know, it's some silly
Yeah.
commercial, but that's what I know about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's really good. I haven't seen that commercial. Is that like a commercial for the movie or for something else?
I don't recall. I just remember
Hitman is
Peyton
definitely
Manning
not.
is talking about Omaha in it.
Is it a commercial for Omaha Insurance, life insurance, or something?
Uh, I don't recall, to be
That's
honest.
funny because like he's definitely not in the film as far as I mean, I'm not a sports person, so maybe I didn't recognize him, but um
No, I don't. I don't think it was in the film at all. It was just used for that commercial. But what it was for, I can't remember.
funny.
Let me see if I
Oh,
can look it up real quick.
yeah.
I did see another trailer that for a movie that coming out soon that looks really good. It's called The Bride,
Yes.
and it's by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look really good. The visuals are pretty stunning.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes in movies are like really focused on the visuals. The plot is kind of like meh, like they don't focus on the plot. So I'm kind of hoping that the plot itself is good as well, like that
Mhm.
there's a good script and good
Yeah.
story involved with it. But the visuals are look absolutely stunning. I think what Christian Bale's in it,
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, um, and then I don't know who the bride is.
Jesse something. It looks like it could have been made for like Lady Gaga, to be honest with you.
That's what a lot of people are saying is that, well, not a lot. I saw a couple of people say that that's what Harley Quinn and Joker should have been,
Hmm.
is this movie. And
Oh,
which it was like,
yeah.
that's kind of an unfair, like, comparison, because two different types of movies or whatever. But it looks, I agree with you. It definitely looks like it's going to be interesting and worth watching for sure. I don't know if that's Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut. I haven't heard of any other movies by her, but
I'm not sure. Good
yeah.
question. And it was Jesse Buckley for
Okay.
those keeping score out there. And
Yeah.
also for those keeping score out there, it was just a teaser commercial for the movie itself with DiCaprio and Peyton Manning. Wasn't for an ad for anything. It was just done during like a football game or something.
Oh,
So it's like
okay.
a teaser commercial for the movie itself.
All right. Yeah, because I'm like, he wasn't in the movie, so it confused me.
Well, yeah, that would be confusing, but
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing both those movies.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you watching that movie when it comes out, or when you get a chance to get to the theater. And parts of it were filmed like by where I live, so
Oh
that was
wow.
kind of interesting. Yeah,
Okay. That's always fun.
yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah. I
Makes me
think
want
the last movie that was supposed to be taking place in San Diego was that, I think it was called Adrenaline or Novocaine.
Novocaine. Novocaine,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was supposed to be in San Diego, and I went in trying to recognize places that took place, things that take place in San Diego. So it's kind of fun when you're able to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode of Pop Cult X. Stay tuned, everyone. Next week or next episode, we'll be back to our regular, our regular,
Our normal.
our normal stuff. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I guess we'll see you guys next time.
We'll see you.